Day one of an unknown amount of days being laid off and unemployed. I'm a little concerned I'm going to gain a bunch of weight.
Go for a run? Keep in mind, it's not just me that needs to worry about gaining weight. You can't be lazy either. That's like just as good as a lock if you don't have side cutters. Good. All right.
So I think fairly obviously I have a pretty substantial extra amount of time on my hands now, and that really should lead to quite a bit more productivity of everything going on in this shed and this channel. Whoa. Yeah, this thing after not touching it for a little bit and keeping your hopes down feels way lighter. Take, for example, my red Crux, the new race bike, the bike that I want to race this season when it does start up, which hopefully it does. All I need to do to this right now is swap out the rear wheel to match the front, which was the very light XC wheel set that I built for the now EI MTB. But with my regular work schedule, I probably in some way would have turned just changing a rear wheel somehow into a 10-minute Tinker Tuesday video. Here. Now that I've got all this extra time on my hands, I don't really need to work around that schedule anymore. I can just do it throughout the day, and it's like a little part of a bigger video. This wheel. If you will recall, this wheel did suffer a bit of a dent. It's probably a lot harder to see, but you can see some of the marks right there. This should be fine. Done. Sorted out. Okay. Q&A time. Now, as always, I posted up the Q&A prompt on the community tab of this channel. It should, when I do that, show up in your subscription feed. If you missed it, you'll see it again probably in a month. Possibly weekly, who knows? Why don't you dabble in older stuff and mess with 26-inch adventure bikes with friction shifters and stuff? Mostly because I haven't been on the hunt for a 26-inch bike for a long time, and I'm a little bit weary of the availability of tires. So it's really not been on my radar. However, my friend Phil just did post an older 26-inch small, medium Cannondale up on a for sale thread. I certainly was interested in messing with that a little bit. Will you make a how to strip paint from a bike video? Sure, but it is as easy as painting on paint stripper onto a bike that isn't carbon. Let the chemicals do all the work, spray it off, or scrape it off. It's that easy. What do you think is the least necessary, hyper-specific type of bike? We actually talked about this on a live chat with Path Last Pedaled and a few others last night, and I think we probably all can agree that the evil chamois Hager has got to be the most ridiculous, least necessary, hyper-specific bike on the market right now. Though I still want to ride one so that I can say how much I dislike it. Are you going to start working with more suspended bikes, maybe a full suspension build sometime in the future? I want to. I want to mess with more mountain bike stuff, but hell, I have fallen so far behind the times lately that I wouldn't even really know where to start. I do know I want a full suspension, 120, 130 mil travel front and rear that offers space for 29 with the ability to run a 650B when I go to like more bike park areas. I want that. I just don't know what that is going to be yet. I spend so much time trying to keep things on a budget, especially now that I really don't know when or how that could be coming to fruition anytime soon. But keep in mind, I didn't even realize that people have gone to 35 millimeter handlebar clamp sizes until like a week ago. What is up with that? I don't understand. Why do you have to go that big? What is your second favorite engineless wheeled thing? Probably skateboarding. I'm a terrible skateboarder. I'm not good at it at all. I've crashed a lot of times skateboarding, but I cannot get over the unbelievable persistence and commitment that skateboarders have to hone their craft. I wildly appreciate that, and I long for that sort of motivation to do something like that with anything I do. For primary mountain bike, gravel bike, what parts would you get secondhand, and what parts would you always get new? Chains, chain rings, and cassettes, always new if I could. Handlebars, new if I can as well, mostly because you don't know what kind of stresses they've gone through, and I'd prefer ride something new than something that's had like a lot of hard hits. In BMX, we used to see handlebars break every so often, and it was just something that someone was riding for a very, very long period of time, over years and years and years and years of repeated abuse and use. So any of those spots where you're really holding on, those would be all new parts. Everything else, I'd be very happy to buy secondhand. With all that's going on now, do you think things will get back to normal in time for really nice weather riding? Why or why not? No, I don't. I don't think that this year we are going to get to a point where we can go back to like normal big group ride or outdoor riding without looking over your shoulder style of the year. Like, I just don't see it happening. You look at what we need to have before we can say it looks like things are actually kind of going back to normal, and it's 28 full days of no new cases of this virus that's going around. So we're not even there yet. We can't even start to think about having no new cases. It keeps going up. Wherever the peak of that curve is, we need to start thinking then that maybe there's no new cases coming. I don't know when that could possibly be. I think we're going to be riding solo and making videos alone for a little while yet. Do you have any pre-ride routines that you follow, i.e. stretches, food, etc.? My only pre-ride routine is rushing to get out the door because I'm late to get somewhere, and then realizing what I had forgotten when I'm at the trailhead. Or if I'm going on a road ride, realizing what I forgot when I'm on the road ride. Ever thought of making a sleeper bike? Something that make you look like a total noob when you show up at a club ride, but then ride so sweet that you can kick ass on it? I like to think that like most of my bikes would be like that, but the problem is I don't know that I'm at a level of fitness that I could be taking people like that on. It's never the bike that ends up being the ultimate part of the equation. It's any big video plans for the spring, summer that you'd share? I had some ideas, but they're kind of gone now. I kind of need to restart. If there's anything you guys want to see, let me know, because we've got lots of time. Any tips for getting technical skills on a CX bike? In my opinion, it doesn't really matter what bike you decide to ride. Mountain biking is probably the best way to become a better cross racer, but I think a lot of my skills come from a lifetime of BMX. Just doing freestyle BMX, putting yourself in like really strange, weird situations, just gives you this really, really good base for subconscious good moves when you're getting into very hairy situations on a cross bike. Just throw yourself at a lot of different situations and hope you come out unscathed. That is what's going to make you a better rider. Do you script your videos or is it natural? This is all natural. I usually have an idea for what I want to talk about, and then I just start talking to the camera just like this. Will you join Zwift, Sufferfest, Trainer Road while on lockdown? Probably not, because I don't own the proper trainer, which I'm not necessarily worried about, but I also don't have any of the proper sensors or meters or any of that, and I'm probably not going to invest the money into it. Do you have a link to those full-fingered fox gloves you were wearing in the last video? No, I don't. I actually bought those while I was riding at Joyride last time I was in Ontario with Joel and Mitch. The skin on my fingers and hands here was peeling off, and I didn't want to stop riding, so I paid the premium for a pair of gloves that I would never, ever pay full price for. Best mechanical disc brake. TRP Spires. What is your favorite thing about YouTube and your least favorite thing about YouTube? My favorite thing about YouTube is that I can make any bit of content that I want and upload it for an audience to see. My least favorite part is when I do it too much, that people start to get used to it and then aren't happy when I change either the flow or the location or the story styles. So The thing that's great about it is also the thing that sort of sucks after you build a bit of a following. How much money do you think you could build a budget gravel bike for with no current parts included? Like no parts that I have here. I think I could do it for under 500 Canadian. I'm wanting to get a wheel set for my fixed gear. Any idea what I should look for or what you've run in the past? Formula hubs to like a Mavic or just any box section rim. Don't go for anything deep. Just go for like a very classic looking shallow rim, Formula hub, fixed gear wheel set. That's going to last you forever. Very serviceable. That's basically, actually that's not basically, that is what's on the Chinelli right now and probably will be for a long time to come. This will be the last question. Will you build a dirt cheap fixie where you weld a free hub together and put a single, I don't know that I would go that far with it. Fixed gears are like fairly cheap as it is. I will, like, even just over here, like that white Schwinn, that is a dirt cheap fixed gear. I see no real reason other than just straight up entertainment to weld anything together to create a fixed gear. It sounds ridiculous. Sounds like it would probably get a fair amount of views. Okay, next time, if you want to be part of the Q&A, make sure you keep an eye out for the Q&A post that prompts the questions from you to be here. Anyway, tomorrow, because we have the time, we're gonna finally. So, if you want to support the channel on Patreon, like 4, 5, 6 other people did yesterday from today, thank you. And as always, the links to Amazon will bring you to an Amazon page if you buy anything else while you're on there. Proceeds from your purchase will come to supporting this channel. And as always, just keep watching videos. Keep turning them on, keep watching them, keep commenting, keep liking, keep subscribing, all that good stuff. It's gonna be a long run.